Hey everyone, welcome back to the Judgment Room. I'm David. This is the show where we take real-life situations, the kind that keep you up at night, and we actually talk through them. No right answers here, just honest conversation. So today's scenario hits different because it's about something we've all thought about at some point: forgiveness. But not the easy kind. Not like, oh, you forgot my birthday, it's cool. I'm talking about the hard stuff. Here's the situation. Someone in your life, could be a friend, a coworker, an ex, whoever. They spread lies about you. Bad ones. The kind that damaged your reputation. Maybe you lost friendships over it. Maybe it hurt your career. Maybe people in your family started looking at you differently. And this person, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't an accident. But here's where it gets complicated. Years go by. And this person genuinely changes. Like, really changes. They're not the same person anymore. They've done the work on themselves. And one day they reach out. They apologize. They own what they did. They're not making excuses. So, the question is, do you forgive them? It's not an easy question, and that's why we're here. All right, so before we dive in, I've got someone here with me today who's going to help me unpack this. So first things first. What's your name?
Maya.
Maya. Cool. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Maya. So you've heard the whole situation. Someone wrecks your reputation. Years pass. They change. They apologize. Big moment. So what's your take? What would you do?
Honestly, I don't think I'd forgive them.
Okay. Why not?
Because, I get that people change. I do. But when someone destroys your reputation, that's not just between you and them anymore, you know? That's your whole life. That's how people see you. That's your job, your friendships, your family. And once that's out there, you can't take it back. Even if they apologize, the damage is already done.
Right. So it's less about whether they've changed and more about what they took from you.
Exactly. I had this situation in college. There was this girl in my dorm, and we were friends, or I thought we were, and she told people I cheated on a test, which I didn't, but it spread so fast, and suddenly people were treating me like I was this dishonest person. My professors heard about it, it got back to my family, it was humiliating.
Did she ever apologize?
Yeah, actually, 2 years later. She reached out on Instagram and said she felt terrible, that she was jealous of me or whatever, and that she's in therapy now and trying to make amends.
And how did that feel?
I mean, part of me appreciated it, but another part of me was just like, okay, cool, you feel better now, but I still lived through all that, you know? Her apology doesn't undo what happened. People still remember. I still remember.
So for you, the apology wasn't enough.
It wasn't about enough or not enough. It's just, I don't owe her forgiveness. She made a choice, and I don't have to make her feel better about it just because she's changed.
Okay, let me stop you there for a second. I hear you, and I think a lot of people would feel the same way. But what if, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, what if holding on to that anger is actually hurting you more than it's hurting them?
I've heard that before. People love to say, forgiveness is for you, not for them.
You don't buy that.
Exactly. I think people confuse the two. You can heal and still not forgive someone. Those aren't the same thing.
Fair. But here's the other side of it. What if this person has genuinely changed? Like they're not the same person that hurt you. They've done therapy, they've worked on themselves, they've apologized to other people they hurt. At what point do we allow people to be different than they were?
I mean, that's great for them, genuinely. I'm glad they're doing better. But that doesn't erase what they did to me, and I don't think they should expect it to.
So even if they're different now, it doesn't matter.
It matters for them, but it doesn't change my experience. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. You're saying their growth is separate from your pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but what about this? What if not forgiving them keeps you tied to that moment? Like every time you think about them, you're back in that place where they hurt you. Doesn't that give them power over you?
Maybe, but I think forgiving them when I don't want to would also give them power. I'd be doing it because I'm supposed to, not because I actually feel it. and that feels worse to me.
So forgiveness has to be real. It can't be forced.
Right. And I think people pressure you to forgive because it makes them comfortable. Like, they want the story to have a happy ending. But life isn't always like that.
Yeah, I think that's true. People do want resolution. They want to hear, I forgave them and now I'm free. But you're saying that's not always how it works.
Not for me. I don't feel trapped by not forgiving her. I feel like I'm protecting myself.
Protecting yourself from what?
From letting someone back in who already showed me who they are. Like, yeah, people change, but some people don't, and I'm not willing to risk it.
So there's a trust issue there.
For sure. Like, even if they apologize, how do I know they won't do it again or do something else? I can't.
I get that. That makes sense. But I guess the flip side is, if we never give people a second chance, then what's the point of changing? Like, if someone genuinely works on themselves and we still shut them out, doesn't that say, don't bother?
Maybe, but I don't think it's my job to reward them for doing what they should have done in the first place.
That's fair. You don't owe them anything.
Right.
But do you think there's ever a situation where you would forgive someone for something like this?
I don't know. Maybe if enough time passed, or if I saw, real proof that they'd changed. Not just an apology, but actions, consistent actions over years. But even then, I don't know if I'd ever fully trust them again.
So forgiveness doesn't mean things go back to how they were.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I think that's something people don't talk about enough. You can forgive someone and still not want them in your life.
Exactly. And I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so just to recap, you're saying option B, you wouldn't forgive them. Not because you're angry, but because you don't owe them that. And because forgiveness doesn't undo the damage.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you feel good about that.
I do. I think I've made peace with it in my own way.
Cool, I respect that. All right, so you've heard what Maya would do, and honestly, I get it. When someone damages your reputation, that's not a small thing. That's your life, your relationships, your sense of self. And maybe forgiveness isn't always the answer. Maybe sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is say, I'm good without you. But here's the thing. This isn't simple. Because on the other side of this, there's someone who changed. Someone who did the work. And we have to ask ourselves, do we believe in second chances? Do we believe people can be different than they were? Or is some damage just too big? I don't know the answer, and I don't think there is one. So now I want to hear from you. What would you do? Would you forgive someone who destroyed your reputation if they genuinely changed? Or is that asking too much? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time on The Judgment Room.